Inbound call. Signal encryption active.
Where is the job?
In a small, underdeveloped rimward system named Ares. Colonists there preparing to move against the controlling system entity
And we don't overthrow governments. Our contact should have informed you of this before arranging this call.
No, they did. This is not a governmental entity, it's a corporate one. Goldo Corporation. They technically are only licensed for selective resource extraction of the system, but they have largely taken it over, and very little of the resource processing and its profits are ever seen by the colonists. And they're big enough there's not really any opportunity for competition outside of one growing other corporation in the system. Very company town behavior. Enough the locals are tired of this, there's a growing movement to unseat Goldo, or at least make it unprofitable enough that Goldo pulls out, and they're about to finally make a move. That's where we want your organization to come in.
What's the job expectations? We can harass and disrupt, but our organization isn't prepared to disable sanctioned jump gates. We don't play against the regulators.
Nothing as far as that. There's no permitted inter-system jump gate. Everything goes in blind, and the big bulk shipments leave through extrasolar jump freighters. Now, there's good profit to be made in Ares, and we don't want hard stoppages to trade. But we do have a vested interest in seeing the financial impact of Goldo and the interstellar market. Colonists don't even know about all this, and we need it kept that way. Whether these rebels succeed or not is irrelevant to us. We just need to make sure Goldo feels it.
I see. Is there any sort of restraint or limit to how far we go?
No, drive them completely out of the system if you want. We just need to make sure their resource flow is disrupted and that their share value shows the impact. Oh, and that nothing's traceable, of course.
You wouldn't be coming to us otherwise. You providing insertion and recovery for the agent, or are we billing for that too?
We have a discreet method of getting your agent onto the planet in the system with the highest concentration of Goldo operation sites, Agaris. The system is sanctioned for continuing development, and we have a transport contract to service that system development through the other major corporate entity in the system, a local group named Interstellar Trade Corporation, headquartered on another planet in the system, of course. Paperwork's easy enough to cover for transporting a new colonist, and also allows for importing some equipment as part of the program, as long as it's not on the restricted items list. We have some system data we can provide your agent too. We will provide credentials that will allow for extraction through this same freighter once you advise Goldo's planetary assets are abandoned, or if we determine enough financial impact has occurred for us to move on our own plans. If the ITC pulls out of their contract with us because of collateral damage impacting them, though, your agent will need to find another way home.
We have just the agent for this in that case.
All right. Can't believe that actually worked, and OBS didn't crash. So there we go. Welcome in. Starting a new series. Let me turn this down a tad loud. There we go. That's more reasonable. Yeah. So, back at Ares at War, still space engineers, just a completely different scenario. And unlike last time, we actually get to be bad guys this time. Well, I mean, we're not bad guys. It's complicated. It's complicated. So we're currently here at the AHE HQ. That's where we got dropped off. We never saw this. Last playthrough 2.5 years ago, never saw this because it got destroyed before we could get over here because it's on the opposite continent from where we started. So we got some stuff. We got some stuff. You know what? I'm going to clean up this box. Do I have a grinder on me? There is a grinder in the seat. Cool. We're just going to put forth a little bit of effort and clean this up a little bit. Running a little bit different set of mods. So, yeah. A little bit of... Oh, come on, really? There we go. I forget how slow the starting grinders are every time. Every single time I forget. I'm already regretting this. Already regretting this. You know, we're not cleaning up our mess. The AHE can clean it up, and that's their job. Anyway, we don't have third-person mode. Hitting the key for it, we don't have it. That is a restriction that's in place again. So we'll see how things go. I might set up the head tracker again, and that's the wrong button. Maybe we'll see where that goes. But we got some stuff to go do, because we've got that other Connex box has already been delivered where it needs to go, and so we're just going to drive that way. We're not too terribly far away, but it is a little bit of a difference off. So this drive down the coast here will give us a little bit of an opportunity to discuss this playthrough some. This is still the original Areas at War series. I know that Splitsy and Shaq are currently playing through the development version, or they've converted over to the dev version of it. I'm not doing that yet. I've played quite a few instances of the dev version, just because I'm in that testing group. And I'm going to wait to actually do a playthrough of it until it's fully done. So this is not Areas at War V2, but we literally didn't do anything overall on this continent last time, because we couldn't get over here before the AHE got that entire base blown up and taken over by Goldo Corporation, and then Goldo's corporate headquarters was over on the other continent where we were, so we never had a reason to come over here other than, like, I think, blow up one base. So there's that. You will see there is a 3D map, like a globe map for this. It's available externally, but also thanks to Aman by Uzar, we do have this an in-game version of that, so we can actually track where we are like a GPS in-game, which is honestly really cool. I've played around for a little bit. It's absolutely outstanding. If you're doing a playthrough of Areas at War, I highly recommend it, because it's a lot easier than, like, holding a browser window open with CptArthur's, like, panable 3D globe map, than trying to, like, triangulate where you are compared to that. So there's that. As you can see, this scenario does have the water mod, so we do have water. There will be some boating actions, but really we're here just to cause problems for Goldo, and that means we have to get set up with some operations. I am running Industrial Overhaul for this one, so we do need to worry about the additional processing chain there, but honestly, I kind of enjoy that. This is not going to be as long a playthrough as the last time. Let's just slow down here. I think I got to turn up this way. Yeah, that sounds about right. There's a really steep part of the shore I'm trying to avoid, because I'm pretty sure this car will go tumbling right down it. I mean, to be fair, I'm running across these mountains at like 60 miles an hour, so I probably should slow it down to something more reasonable, like 45 here. Would be a shame to lose our land vehicle right off the bat. Not like I have a habit of doing that or anything. One of these days I'm just going to come in on a shuttle and stop that being an issue. Uh-oh. Oh, we are out of power, boys. Somebody didn't fill the fuel tank. Alright, hang on. Let me take a look what we got going on here. Engine ran out of power. Hydrogen tank's empty. Huh. Okay, some of the batteries are on recharge. Let's fix that. Let's put them all on auto. I was like, oh, don't tell me that was a problem. Okay. So what we have left is what we have left for power. Shame. So yeah, we've got that. I need to get some H2O2 refining up and going. So we're going to a place that has an iron deposit nearby. We based near some copper last time, but I'm trying to avoid walking if possible. But we'll see. Actually, what I'm particularly doing is I'm trying to avoid... I'm so peaky today. What's going on? Let's fix that. There we go. I am trying to find... or I'm trying to prevent losing the wheels this time. Because last time, the vehicle blew up and then we lost the rubber out of those wheels, and that was garbage. So... yeah, once we've got some stuff established, we can start working on offensive craft. Aren't we all? That's the truth. So we can start working on some offensive craft. Boats, because naval stuff does play a part in this, are going to be part of it. I want to do, I've got the plane parts mod. I want to do some actual like planes. We've also got the vacuum cells mod, so we can do dirigibles. We can do combat zeppelins. And I've got a feeling, if you haven't figured it out yet based on the name of the series, this is going to start feeling really Crimson Skies-ish. Because there's just going to be something goofy done. We're not doing like the full clear the whole system out run like last time. We're not fighting the purge off. We're staying planet side. So no frameshift drives, no platinum. The only uranium we'll have will be what we can salvage from enemy ships that happen to have, reactors on them. God, we are at like a 30-degree angle tilted to the side. How have I not slid down this mountain yet? As I'm doing 65 again, because I can't help myself apparently. It's okay, my car's fancy. It is, yeah. So like we've got a lot of options we can work with for what we're doing. And the nice thing about this is there's oil nearby and coal. So there'll be a little bit of defensibility for some stuff we can do here. And hopefully we'll be close enough to, since we're, 12 kilometers away from the AHE HQ, when Goldo decides they want to start making moves against Agaris heavy engineering, then we can step in, and maybe we can save the AHE this time. That'd be kind of cool. Like, I know they'll get folded into, the Free Agaris Forces group, but it would be kind of neat if they didn't die. So we do have AI enabled and crew enabled. So we can use that to help deal with like setting up and building and welding some things. Build and repair is in here, but I don't know when or if it'll get used. So there's that. We'll see how it goes. I think I have to check and see what the stuff is for ammunition. I think I want to try to avoid Gatling guns this time, unless they're fixed. And that doesn't mean like throw them onto a custom turret. I mean, I think I want to avoid trying to use Gatlings, period, outside of like fixed underwing type deal. Why am I so damn peaky? I can hear it in the mic. Hang on a second. Bear with me one moment here. We're just going to make this filter a little bit more aggressive and hope that fixes the issue. Always something messed up with new playthroughs. Anyway, this is our home. This Connex box on this beach. I do know there is iron back that way, and there's oil at the bottom of this lake somewhere. So we're going to turn off power so we're not burning it all, because we don't have an easy way to get it back. Grab our drill, go inside. This is our home. Are we off? Let's check the batteries. No, we are not. Cool. So oh, that sent me outside. Something to keep in mind. Here is the map. That dot is us. This is where we just came from. So you can see cobalt, silver, nickel, a little bit of copper, coal, oil, iron, more nickel. And this is neat. You can toggle on or off resource maps or pins on the map. You can zoom in and out, so you can zoom it all the way out to the entire globe at once, or just bring it way into something more relevant to what you want to do. You can pan it around. You can edit your little chevron that displays on the display, so it could be something else. This is outstanding, because now I don't have to keep a web page open sitting above my head trying to figure out where we are. And these can also be put on vehicles. So we have some parts and supplies here. You know what? Let's get tools and start with that. Let's get tools. We'll start with tools. We need to get something more fitting permanent power going. I think that means we're probably going to end up starting with solar. Let's set up our basic stuff here. And we go to beam blocks. And we'll start. I need panels. We'll do panels first, then beam blocks. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to try, let's see, what do we have for solar options? So we do have, because we have Industrial Overhaul, we do eventually have access to like the solar concentrators for steam, which would be kind of cool. I don't think we'll ever get full spectrum solar panels because I think the cells for that require platinum. I could be wrong. I don't fully recall. But let's see what we can do here as far as this goes. You know, let's just reset the default and we'll go from there. Actually, can I access from the outside? Oh, I can access it from outside. Oh, maybe I can. No, I can't, because I can't go through the small connector. But I can do it from here. So it looks like we're short. Okay, we can make 2 panels. That's a good start. That'll keep us from running out of power, at least. And then we'll do... Oh, crap. How am I going to do this one? I got to get it up on that lip? Yeah, I got to get up on the lip. Okay. And we can turn it sideways. Cool. Weld these up. At least we got power now. That's the important part. And of course, we have to play nice to start, right? Because no one really knows why we're actually here. They think we're just here to do some colony stuff, which I mean isn't technically untrue, you know, but. And of course, running the standard suite of mods I like a lot. You know, we're just gonna turn this door off while it's open. I'm tired of that right now. Do I want to put this inside here somewhere? Or do I want to put it outside? I think we're going to leave it inside. Oh, I gotta fix that. There we go. Can I stick it outside somewhere? I could stick it out here. This is going to be goofy, but it would work. Tell you what, let's grab some extra steel plate. And we'll just do some stuff here. It does. That was the goal for it. And I'm kind of happy it worked out. Nice little Connex box. It'll eventually get tore down. But we can start with that for now. And then we're just going to throw this here. We'll eventually need to go through and pipe it. But for now, we're on the planet with a breathable atmosphere. I can open up my helmet. As long as I'm not in the water, it's fine. So, like, it's not that big a problem. Alright, we're going to punch a hole right now. Large car. I bet the middle of this H. Yep, there we go. Middle of the H was accurate. And we're just going to grab a whole bunch more steel plates. And we'll put up the other beam on the other side. Of course, we're here as the sun is setting. Of course. Why would we not be? Just going to go upside down, because you can't crouch in Space Engineers. Well, you can't crouch and like you can crouch, but you can't crouch and look up. You can't like turn your head around. So with the series, it's going to go a little bit faster. Again, smaller scope. We have a pretty specific target we're going for. Those are locked. And we're going to end up doing some... I need a light in here. Good God. I can't do this. Give me a light. Give me a couple lights. It wouldn't be an issue if space engineers didn't do goofy things and run light sensitivity the exact opposite of how it is for your eyes, adjusting for things. That works. I guess we're going to sleep sitting upright. The nice thing about Ares at War V2 is that it has support for the sleep mod. It does not for 1. In fact, if you use the sleep mod or try to skip time forwards, it is liable to cause problems and break things, unfortunately. So there is that. Let's see. We have an oxygen tank on here. I don't know why we do, but we do. We have the survival kit. We don't have anything to manufacture stuff with. So, first thing we're going to do is fix that. How high up do we think this tide's going to get? Are we at low tide now? We're just going to put a GPS marker there, and then we can try and track it. I can connect my car to the container using the tethers mod. We do have that on here, which means we have access to the conveyor hose attachment. And I think there's one already on the car somewhere. I can't refill the hydrogen tanks this way. Oh, no, there's not one. That's fine. I can't refill the tanks this way, but I can... connect up to it. So we'll just stick this here. And then we can put another one over here. You know what we don't need? We don't need a license plate. We don't pay taxes to Goldo. They don't get to know what our license plate is. So, because of that, we are powered up and running. We're going to put the batteries on charge mode. And that should be that. No, not Connex batteries. I want the batteries here. We're almost fully charged on these. We didn't use that much power. So that's not bad. Oh, wait. That's not a group. Alright, what did I... This is just... Okay. Hang on. Let's go ahead and fix this right now. Turn off the lights. Everything else should be fine. So I don't think we have anything else in here we need to worry about. Nothing that's burning power, at least, yeah. And then the car battery's on recharge mode, which is what we want them to be. Fully recharged in not that much time. And it'll draw power off the box even if the solars aren't lit up, so. There is a connector up under the front here. A small one. So we could set up a refueling depot and actually pump hydrogen into it, which would work well. And courtesy of the water mod, we have infinite hydrogen, technically. It's not great. I would like to eventually replace this with, like, gasoline, assuming this car lives that long. I suspect this thing's gonna eat like a rocket and blow up at some point. So, you know, there's that. Watching the tide. Anyway, so setting up a place. We need stuff. How many parts do we have? We got some parts. Where is that? Is it in the seat? It's probably in the seat. Cool. We have access to some stuff.
Parts for a cryo chamber. Oh, I'm not doing that. Assembly bench, smelter. Cool. Okay. So we can do some stuff here. Assembly bench and smelter are the next things we need to do. With Industrial Overhaul, the survival kit doesn't really make a whole lot, and what it does, it makes really, really slowly. And the assembly bench is kind of your number one go-to thing to start with. It can make everything, but it does it manually and slowly, but it can make most of the stuff that a survival kit normally would. And it'll get you where you need to go for all that stuff. And then, of course, the smelter is the next piece. So we do need these, which does mean I need to set up some stuff. So we're going to move this a little bit closer to start. Yeah, we'll move this a little bit closer to start with. We're just going to throw some frames out. We do have access to concrete in 2 varieties, so I'm not ultimately that concerned about it. But it is a thing. Oh wait, but I have no way to get power here. We had no batteries. We only have solar panels for small grid. Okay, so is there a small grid smelter? Or do we have to start doing... There is not. Okay. So we have to start doing shenanigans. That's fine. We can do shenanigans. We're gonna work by night because there's no reason not to. So I'll throw that down. And we'll get the smelter here, and we'll see what we can get going off of it. Worst case, I can rig up the parts to run a power line from our Connex box over here to run stuff. I'd really rather get a more renewable source of power, like maybe some solars, or maybe not solars, I don't think we can make those yet. Wind turbines is always an option. Early batteries for Industrial Overhaul are alkalines. They are non-rechargeable. So you can make them, but then once they're out of power, they're basically trash. You have to grind them back down and remake their cells and install new ones. So, like, they can kind of limp you along if you have to for a little bit, but they're not great. They're better for, like, hey, here's some emergency backup power. And as far as the basic refinery goes, we're looking at a max input of 2 megawatts, which is not inconsiderable, but the assembly bench is only 100 kilowatts. So, we do have access to, like, a fully functional jetpack, which is good. But yeah, so let's throw some parts back in here. Where do I want to go first with this? We're not doing a cryo chamber because we don't need to. Need to think of a name for this place. I think the ultimate goal is going to be to put everything inside this little mountain here. And this will be like the main base, because then all the big industrial stuff can be pretty much protected. Because I know there's iron over here somewhere, I think. Oh! Problems! Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, man. First death, not even half an hour in. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, actually, hang on a second. Is that messed up? Is that why we're seeing goofy dumb things? Is that fixed? That might be fixed. Okay. I don't have any bottles on me. That's the problem. And you burn through hydrogen fast, planet side. Yeah. Also, I've turned off spawn with tools. So, like, yeah. Getting your stuff back does matter. Alright, I think somewhere around here is going to be where the iron is. Oh, I got that right on. So we're just going to draw up a GPS here. We're not going to do anything with that yet, I think. Maybe we won't. Anyway, not yet. No sight on it yet. But you never know. I do think... I want access to the water for the hydrogen, but maybe I don't care that much. Absolutely did. Absolutely. Actually, this iron field's pretty large. We're still seeing new pings on the drill. So I do have the ORTAP mod installed and pipelines. ORTAP is the laser-based version of the ore deposits mod, so you can place build a static grid above it, and it will harvest resources from the ground, from the ore voxel. This is huge. Okay, I must have landed at the far side of it, but it's a lot more performant game wise than a lot of the other stuff is. They're the original one. So I think this might be the last one. Nope. Still good. Wow, how big is this iron deposit? I'm just going to keep running until I stop detecting iron, and we'll go back and update our... Alright, I think that's the last one. Alright, so this is actually... So, hang on. GPS, not iron. This is iron. That's the closest point. That's not too bad. It's 1.5 kilometers away. I have to remember to slow down before I think I do. I was just doing 300 meters a second. Alright, so we are out of hydrogen, basically. We can get more from the water by using collectors. The issue is, I have a little bit of ice here. I don't have any way to convert this ice into anything else. Do we have the parts to make an H2O2 generator? Ooh, actually, we might have enough to make one. Don't have the steel plates. Okay, well... no, but I think he's taking a nap downstairs and behaving himself. He is behaving himself so far. So let's see, we got this. Wait, am I seriously out of steel plates entirely? That's not good. Let's go steal a steel plate. Actually, it doesn't matter if we steal these steel plates, because we're not going to have enough to actually put this together on the thing. Oh wait, I was trying to do the smelter. Alright, so we're missing 2 large steel tubes and 5 heating elements, which we can make, but that will require some stuff. So I think what we're going to do... See, can I use the survival kit to make ingots still? I can. Sweet. Okay, so we can do this. We can do this out of stone still. Let's... Do I think we can get over there with the car? There is a river we have to cross. But let's take the car. I need to toggle the batteries. There we go. Let's go see how far we can go, and let's see what this thing has on it. The beach is kind of bumpy. And I don't quite know how deep this river is, so I don't want to try to drive the car through it, because that seems like a bad idea. There is, like, crush depth where stuff takes damage, like grids will, for exposed parts, and a lot of the parts on this car are exposed. That is still 2 kilometers away on the other side of the lake. Yeah, that's... Fortunately, that is lost to us for now. So let's go back home. We're just going to go back home. That'll be it. Why am I still peaky? I didn't change any mic settings. Or did I? No, I didn't. Let's see, that's where we want to be over here. Yeah. Alright, we go back on charge. Plug our car back in. Turn the headlights off so they don't run the batteries down. There we go. Yeah, the problem is I don't have the supplies to build a bridge. So we're gonna do a couple things here. We are going to drill some stuff over here. Do I want to do it? No, we'll do it back here. I can always hope the tide, you know, picks this up later. This is actually bothering me. Why is this still an issue? Oh, hang on. I think I did find... There we go. That's more reasonable. And then I can reboost this back up. And then we'll pull this back up a little bit. That's reasonable. Okay, now we're no longer blowing up the microphone. Oh, there's always something, man. Always something. You change something you don't think is relevant, and it becomes relevant anyway.
Inventory
Alright,
full.
inventory's full. Let's take this over here. We're going to throw this into our survival kit. And we're going to tell it that we need to make a bunch of stuff. Make a bunch of stuff. Anyway, this will give us gravel, iron, nickel, silicon, and copper. And those are all the basic stuff that Industrial Overhaul runs off of. So we'll start with that. We'll start digging up a little bit more stuff as we go. I don't want to tear the terrain up too bad here, but also, like, this is still the sandy portion, right? Like, maybe the tides will... I mean, it's kind of gravelly.
Full.
It's very, like, northeast beach. That's fine. We'll deposit this extra stone over here. Come back, my rocks. My rocks. I'm going to put a GPS there because I'm going to forget it's here and hit it at high speed and just blow that car up. I know me. I know how this works. Alright, so we have that. We don't need this. We do need a power pole or power line. And that's going to go over here. Steel plate construction components, computers, and displays. That's actually not that bad. We can work with that some. Two components could not be put to production because you can't make them directly. But that's fine. We can make the copper wire and the electromagnets that we need for that. So this is the two no, it's the computer and the display. Copper wire and silicon. Cool. So we're good at that. We're just going to move this to the end. It'll produce everything else we need. It just takes time. Yes, the new suit voice is more AI-ish. And for the V2 version of the mod, of the scenario, Captain Arthur has completely replaced all like the audio cues with new ones, because there's stuff like there's new content. Your suit actually has information to give you about stuff. That's kind of cool. Anyway, by doing this, it will try and make all the stuff in the front, and then when it can't, it will fall back to the ingots, and that's the end goal. It's 35 copper per wire. Okay, that's fine. This is going to take a little bit of time, but we can work with this. We're going to throw this down here. What else is on my... Oh, the Labo 2 gen. That's fine. We can't make any of the parts we need to bring this online there. We need to go to the assembly table for those things. So the important part is getting this stuff up and running. Oh, yeah, it's all spare parts. There we go. We got 2 wire. We need 1 more. And we'll have the computer. Put these here after that. We just need more silicon. 1 more silicon. I know we only need 1. Okay. Why is it not? It's because I broke it, isn't it? I messed up his logic. There we go. Now we're getting the computer and the construction component. We don't need the display, so that's fine. Display is optional for functionality. Yes, okay. Oh wait, we do need another hose, don't we? Perf. I can't hot swap, so we'll do this. And let's do blop. This. There's that. Again, we don't care about the display. We will get the computer eventually. Only 1 wire short. Can't really do much until the sun rises anyway. So. Look, man, there comes a point in time when you play the game long enough that you're like, yeah. Some stuff just triggers warnings. Alright, so here's how we can do this. We can do all the other stuff we need here. So once this is done, we've at least got that functional. Don't have the computer yet, but that's fine. We're going to put this... We're going to stick this up here on the wall. Wait, actually, we don't need the computer, do we? It works without the computer. I'm going to go steal this computer back. You kidding me? Power lines are too far apart. Son of a... Okay, fine. That's fine. We'll do this and we'll move it. Problem solved. Easiest problem for the easiest solution. It's not that big a deal. Like, at the end of the day, we're not going to be using the water for a whole lot of, like, power-related stuff. So it doesn't matter anyway. Alright, so let's try this again. We'll do 1. We'll do 3. We'll get ourselves an assembly bench. We'll put ourselves a smelter. We'll put ourselves a charging port. We'll weld all this stuff up. Take the I'll wait to pull the computer back out until after. There we go. These welders are so bad. So bad. Anyway, we can take a collector and put that block inside the below the water line, and it will gather ice for us. So there we go. Oh, what do you mean cannot modify powers that are not owned by me or my faction? I absolutely own this. I own you, owner me. Is this what's not considered owned? Effective. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we need to get this up and running. Heating elements and large steel tubes. I can use build the build planner to put stuff to production, but it doesn't always work that way. So let's go 3 copper wire. There's all that stuff. None of this requires anything extra. We can use tooling to script this later, so it's not that big a deal. And I'm just going to take all this stuff out and move it over here. That'll be how that works for right now. Go ahead and roll this back up. Can't weld these because they don't have a steel core, but that's fine. So that's running. Once this is up and running, actually, how long are our batteries looking like here? We're at 1.95. We've got a ton of them, so we're fine. The Connex is loaded to start with, so we shouldn't have too big a problem with it. Alright, this is up and running. Let's go grab our spare stone. And I think we're probably just going to kill all the production here, because it is going to be far more efficient to not use this for anything. Alright, we got stone there. We got all our components, parts being made. We're doing the smelter. We have plenty of power. Refined speed is still 50%, but that'll 3.8 seconds to finish out the ingots. Cool. It's way better than what we had previously. I do want to start working on some stuff. So the way this works is you can do most simple things inside the assembly bench, but you can't automate it. You can't port. There's no ports attached to this. If we go into ports mode, you'll notice there are no ports. There's just like the terminals to access things and put stuff into its internal inventory. But with the Industrial Overhaul, there's a whole bunch of different specialized machines that are a lot more, functional for how this works. The plate stamp makes plates. You've got a wire drawer that can draw out wires of various types. The extruder makes tubes. The fabricator makes small machine parts. You've got a loom that handles a lot of canvas stuff. The assembler is kind of like an advanced, or it's an alternate form of the fabricator, because it makes different things. You can do cement with a cement kiln using gravel. There's a ceramics furnace for making ceramics. There's all sorts of stuff you can get into. Munitions factory for ammo. I don't know that we'll ever touch the nano assembler. We can. I don't know that we'll have a need to. And then the mod compatibility assembler and IO is kind of it's like the general vanilla assembler. Except where all of your stuff from mods goes, this is what goes into that. So we will need one of these as far as that goes. But we need to build some stuff out. So we're just going to sit here and grab all of our iron out of here, throw it into this thing, and tell it to make every plate that it can for us, because we're going to need so many plates. And by so many, I mean 200. Because we will need to build some stuff out. No, I don't need the displays. Displays unnecessary. But we're just going to go ahead and build some stuff out here for some extra space. I'm out of steel plates already. That's fine. Basic refinery. Plate stamp. We have ports on the sides and the front. So we'll do this to start with. We'll throw down some of this stuff. Eventually we'll get some cement and start replacing this. This is just immediate short-term processing up and running. Like, this is stuff that we have to do reasonable manufacturing. And the big issue is going to ultimately be availability of resources. So I do want to set up, like, actually, what's the pipelines requirements? Pipelines mod, here we go. Pipeline hub. We will need 2 of these at least. They can stretch up to 1 kilometer between, but they do need a line of sight. So that's not too bad. Small steel tubes, metal grids, interior plates, motors, computers. So we will need the cobalt for the metal grids. There is cobalt nearby on the other side of the AHEHQ, though. So we can work with that. And do regular drills, or we could do the ore tap, right? Yeah, here we go, the ore tap. That's actually what we just finished up, except we made it to space and then got out. But yeah, Scraplander Crash Yard was run out of Splitsy Scavenger Hunt. There you go. The very beginning it has like all the planetary stuff. We didn't get to space till near the end. So, ore tap. So this is the big thing we're going to be running it off of. God, these require superconductors. Oh, and power cells. We need lithium. Man, okay, so this is a bit of a ways off. Unless I go through and edit the recipe, because I want to cheat. We'll see. I might put the other mod back in anyway, because this does have a laser to it. We'll see. I'll consider it, and then we'll know for episode 2, because I do want to get some renewable stuff up and running for it without having to wait forever and a day to do so, without having to manually drill forever and a day either. But we'll see how that goes. AHE's got some stuff. We're just gonna take a quick check just to make sure this is working correctly. Sweet, it is. 29 is correct for how many machines we have. That's all
Inventory
we're gonna do with that.
full.
Let's go dump this into here. I'll catch that rollaway stone. Come back. Because I don't want to be down on this beach for too terribly long. Why do I have heating elements in my inventory? What did I steal extras of? I don't recall, and that's the problem. Oh, this is so slow. Alright, let's... Oh, because they were for this. Duh. Hey, Goose, did you forget you were doing? Absolutely did. Oh, okay. I don't think I've done the scavenger hunt one, then. Unknown signal, that's on the other side of that river. You know, if our employer would drop supplies for us, places that were more reasonable for us to get to them, that'd be nice. If I had bottles, I could fly over there, but I don't. Which is a shame. Can't make them either. That's fine. We'll get to where we need to be eventually. I do need... Can I make large steel tubes here? Is that possible? I could. We're gonna move these to the front, because I would like those tubes. I've already messed up my build planner anyway, so. Alright. Alright, so we have H2O2 again. Because I can take this ice, and by take this ice, I mean we'll take 200, and we'll stick it in here, and that'll be that. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not going to burn it all by accident right off the bat. Sweet, we're full. We are going to dump all this stuff off, and we're going to go steal this. Oh, I'm real concerned at how fast we're burning hydrogen already on this. I'm also doing 300 meters a second. That's 600 miles an hour. Okay, can I bring you to a stop? Maybe. No, and now... Oh wait, no, you still got your parachute. I can let you fall down. That's fine. Tell you what, could I... make a hole for you to go into? Does that work? No? Come back. Ah, I tried. Stop falling over. Oh, this mountain hates me. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do this. And we'll push it into the hole. That didn't work as a hole. Got an improved drill though. Oh no. Oh no. I would like some of these components. Please don't blow up. Oh. 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 Stop, please. Please stop. Okay. We're good. We're good now. Alright, so I got all those parts. We have a better drill. That's I mean, where we are, that's actually a useful upgrade, so... and we don't have any restrictions on what we can build anymore. So we're just going to take this all apart. I don't have, like, a boat to carry it across the river with. I mean, is it really a playthrough with Capac if Splitsy doesn't get Capacked by Capac? I hate this grass. This grass is the worst. Gets in the way of my grinder, gums it all up. Alright, so that's all. Oh, there's advanced computers in here. Oh, this is money. We might actually sell our first couple advanced computers. Because the amount of money that could get us would be pretty solid. And a parachute hatch, which should be empty. And then the battery. These use power cells, so we can recover these fully. Alright, we should be good. And we're just going to run down to the river to save a little bit of hydrogen. And then we'll fly back across it. Because I could swim, but I don't want to swim. When you've got a jetpack, swimming is for losers. Because either you've run out of fuel for your jetpack, in which case your jetpack is pointless, or you don't have one in the first place. And in a world with jetpacks, anyone without a jetpack is, by definition, a loser. Oh, updated faction strength. That means that the background sim is running and doing things. I might need to keep a running tally for how many times I die from jetpack-related deaths in this series. It's been so long since I've had a full-strength jetpack in a playthrough. And the speed limit's raised to 300 meters a second. And we know from experience that I have issues when that happens, just in general. We're going to take this grapple back out. We don't need the grapple. Can't put power cells in there, can't put advanced computers, can't put detector components, but that's fine. We don't have to. We're going to put the gravel over here, though. So that's good enough, and we'll just dump all these other parts here. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how we're doing for getting these parts out. Getting there-ish. Burn the grass, man. I wish we could do that. That'd be so nice. Like if decorative voxel terrain could be cleared away. Like I know you can use like voxel hands to change the material, but like, yeah. All right. We're out of components. We're out of iron. See, we need 60 copper, 56 more copper wire, plus another 33. So let's just do 100 copper wire and be done with it, because it's not like we won't use it. And then, man, I hate it. It's always nighttime when I start streaming on Agaris. I don't know why, but it is. So we don't need this gravel here. We'll pull that away. We got some stuff. We're gonna pull all the things that we can make over there. What could not be deposited? The armored plate. Oh, because we can't do any of this here. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We'll put the stuff back. You know, we'll put away this spare drill too while we're here. Save that. Still short on stuff. Let's go get some iron. Or some more stone. So normally I recommend that people set up like their first base with Industrial Overhaul near copper, because you use so much copper.
Inventory full.
That like it's one of those things where you really should just do copper. And then, you know, for the nickel and stuff you'll get enough iron from stone that it's not really that big a deal. And I'm kind of changing that up this time. We're going near iron because there's so many other good minerals nearby. So we've got the iron up there. There is oil in the middle of the lake here. And somewhere, I think over there, if not, there's like a plateau just past that. I left behind a piece. Oh no. That has coal. And we can take a look at the map here and see on the map. I can turn this off. There's silver over there. So this is the AHE headquarters. There's cobalt over that way just past. I think there's some farmlands somewhere around here. There is nickel. I don't know that we'll ever actually need nickel, like, to be perfectly honest with you. And there's dedicated copper up there. But I think if we dig out space for actually doing stone, we shouldn't have any issues. Cobalt might be a problem, but we should be able to potentially trade with the AHE outpost there and go from there. Which does remind me, we should prep up a mod compatibility assembler here as well, because that would be good to do. We'll get around to it. Yeah, so that was using voxel hands to make the road, and there's some likelihood we'll do that. You'll also see from the map, the river doesn't go all the way and connect here. So, like, if we zoom out a little bit, there is a river that goes down that way. We might want to build a bridge and dredge a connecting canal We'll see. It might be worth doing. It might be something that we set up to do via automated methods, so I don't have to sit here and actually drill an 8-kilometer canal. Or we might not, right? Maybe we just build like, I don't know. There's some options. Also, I do know in this desert there's another faction somewhere around here-ish that will be neat. But the presence of oil here means we don't have to care about sulfur, which isn't near us anywhere nearby. The closest titanium is there, I think, but we could also go down that way if we need to. There is a road. So there's some options for getting... Oh, and there's gold. There's gold here in the desert. There's gold up here in the desert. There's niter, which we will need for guns if we don't buy it. We're gonna need a plane sooner rather than later. That's what's coming out of this, is we're gonna need a plane. Like a boat's gonna be good. Well, a Zeppelin, I guess. Because I think a Zeppelin would work better. Like a plane is good for fighting. But for transports, you can't beat a good dirigible. As long as you don't use lead to paint your silk. Alright, pause of that stuff. Let's grab, there's 2K iron. We'll just grab all this stuff and just slam it in here. And that's not terrible. We gotta move these up manually, because it won't pull automatically. We're getting closer. 60 more super magnets, 10 more steel tubes. Let's move some stuff around here in the production queue. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Yeah. That'll get us the stuff we have to get done first, while we go mine some more iron. And by iron, I mean stone. No, we're turning that off. These suit headlamps are garbage. Once we have a little bit of stuff going here too for easier production of parts and automated stuff, we can start working on some other things. Actually, what? We can make this too. We can make this. Put those to production. That does add more motors, which do require electromagnets. Do we have parts over here for that? No, we don't. That's okay though. We're gonna go sink one of those in the ground. Yeah, hot air balloon for recon. Hell, even just like a balloon, a tethered balloon with some guns on it that we could just release up to use for defense. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be very Crimson Skies. Or a deployable balloon, you know, that deployable balloon that just picks our naval vessel out of the water. You know, same deal. And of course, you can see from the glows in the sky, we are still running the Hollow HUD mod. We're using the open source version of it instead, which is a little bit more updated, a little bit more performant, a little bit more friendly for multiplayer too. That must be a drone circling. I don't see any tracer shots, so I guess they're not hostile. Do we have binoculars? We do. Can I make binoculars? That's the question. Can we make binoculars? Not here. Okay. Guess we gotta get the mod compatibility assembler for that one. That's okay. It's a thing we can do. I'm just gonna keep running around. Some more electromagnets. Come on, boys. You can do it. I'm going to take a couple steel plates out of this and use it to build this back out so I'm not having to stare up into it. Is it particularly helpful? Not directly, but it does help with that. I feel like they're fighting something. That's south of us. Because that drone just took off like a bat out of hell. They're over this area. So maybe there's something hostile over there. That's something to keep in mind as we keep building out. As long as we stay kind of unobtrusive, we should be mostly safe for a little bit at least. Let's see. Let's dump all this stuff. Plug this stuff in. We just need 2 electromagnets. Where are my electromagnets? Oh, they're right there. We just didn't pick them up yet. Cool, plate stamp. You know what this means? We no longer have to make plates in the damn thing here. So we could just get rid of all this. We'll grab like 800 iron. We'll come over here to the plate stamp. I can type correctly. Oh, we already picked up some. Sweet. And we'll just go into here to do plate stamp. We're going to use the quality of life. And we're going to set some stuff up here. We want to try and maintain 100 steel plates. And we'll just do like 50 interior for right now. And we'll start with that. So this will automatically manufacture until we have that much local, and then it'll stop. So it's kind of like running an inventory mod, but not, or inventory script, but it's not a script, it's a mod. I don't think we're going to hit a point where we need to industrialize enough that we need to run a script to manage production. But it does work a little bit nicer with Industrial Overhaul than trying to use most scripts, because a lot of them don't understand how the machines work. So they're constantly like, you have to sit there and constantly set up like special, no use, blah 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 stuff, and still use sorters to sort stuff through anyway, because they're trying to shove parts where they can't belong, because according to the code they should be able to, but you can't because you can't. So let's see, can't withdraw. Yeah, there we go. Take the plates from here. Oh, that's glorious. That's glorious. And this is going to keep trying to make plates every time I pull plates out until we're done. And that's the good part. So I don't have to worry about any of that here now. So next thing we want to try to build out is... let's grab some more stuff here. We're going to come over here and do a mod compatibility assembler here. Just so we have one built. Because there's so many things that we really use that it'd be good to have for. So so we do this. We'll just keep doing this until we have all the steel plates we need. Yeah, it's making them. Okay. Tell you what, let's take a quick check. How's our power situation going? That would be good. We're at 1.6 out of 2 megawatts. So we're down about 20%. But it looks like the sun's starting to come up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that goes. And then of course we'll just do this, and we will tell it not to make the plate, so we don't have to. Sweet. We will need some more. We're gonna need some more copper ingots. That's okay. That's okay. So we're currently looking at, we have plenty of parts in here. Don't really need that much silicon, but can't move anything anywhere else because it's not conveyor, of course. That's 3.3 kilometers away. Let's recharge. drop all this stuff off. Oh, it's full. It can't. We do need some cargo. So we have some options. The problem is I think they're all going to need grids. Well, the small one won't. There is the modular cargo container, or the cargo crate we can use, but it doesn't have ports. The cargo terminal requires grids. There is a storage, there's a box. There's a box, here we go. The transport container, which is a storage container. It's a Connex, added by Industrial Overhaul, which doesn't require grids, but it's not ported. So there is that to be considered of. So let's go back to the small cargo. So we can do that without needing anything fancy on that side. Interior plate, really? We should be making interior plates off of our doodly-doo. Our plate press. What are we missing for these? Aluminum. Oh, damn it, that's right. I had forgotten that. Aluminum. Aluminum, my greatest foe. We need to go find some bauxite. I don't know if we're near bauxite, so we have to go find some. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, that's fine. What are we sitting here on? Got this. Let's grab this. Do our thing here. Put our pieces in. Where's my steel plates? Weld this up. We need more construction components. We're just gonna gut everything here and start over. That's what we have to do. And then we're just gonna add like a bunch of copper wires. We'll mainly drag these back up into the top so they can use them. So we'll need that. There's so many computers for this. So many computers, so many motors, so many electromagnets. So much copper. Because these all need copper wire and electromagnets. So that's, what, 50? 50 electromagnets? So we're just going to throw another 100 in here. Be done with it. How are we doing on copper availability? We got copper. Let's throw the copper into here. We're going to pull the gravel out. So we don't need it here. And we're going to throw it back over here. Oh, this has grids in it. We could take this apart inside the Connex and use it. No, if I do this, I know myself. I'm going to fill it up anyway and be unable to move it later when we need to move it. So I'm not doing that. Because I have learned from my mistakes in the past. Ish. We're still going to be 8 grids short on this. Hang on, I know there's grids in here. I just saw them. What do you mean can't withdraw grids? Okay. You lie. You lie. You lying liar who lies. Come on, boys. Make some stuff. I need one more copper wire. Why do I not have the one copper wire I need? There we go. Motors, grids, computers, motors. Okay. We're in a good spot now. We'll get there. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. We'll do this, and then it'll get us our motors faster. Anyway, yeah, so what do we have in our inventory right now? Steel plate and computers. One component can't be deposited. Deposit it. Top back off this. And we will now... That might be in the water. I'm going to be unhappy if that's the case. Let's put our helmet on in advance. I wonder what speed water becomes lethal at with this mod. Oh, it's right like in the middle. Can I see anything down here? Under the sea. Remember what I said earlier about losers and jetpacks? Having to eat those words now. I don't like that. This almost looks like a bomb. Alright, let's see what we got in here. We got some interior plates. Yes! Free aluminum. Okay, so, you know, Agaris was a little cheeky. I talked some shit about, you know, jetpacks and losers. And to punish me for it. Fair. Reasonable. But then it did reward me, despite that punishment. So it could always be worse. So the goal, ultimately, we will need... We're going to have at least one Zeppelin. Right, like that's absolutely a thing that's going to happen here. We're going to have a Zeppelin. It's going to be used for cargo transport. It's going to be lightly armored, or lightly armed. We might make a battle Zeppelin. We'll see how that goes. We're going to try to swim here and kind of fail at it. It's okay, though. We're going to use our jetpack. Try and aim for the water if I get too low. Which we should be able to like do like a Zeppelin dock up on top of the little mountain there. Need an airstrip for airplanes, fighter craft, and we'll eventually need a naval dock. Did I just not happen to notice which direction the tide was going this whole time? Is it raining? I can't tell. Maybe this is splashes from my feet. I know there is a tide. I don't know what it is. Okay, so let's put this stuff away. The interior plate is great. The advanced computers are really great. Leave the rest of the stuff as is. And we'll just dump these again. Did I not have motors? Okay, I had some. Not a lot. Put those away. Let's refill our stuff while we're here so I don't forget. And then once the sun rises fully and we're getting full use out of these panels, I'll be able to see if we need some sort of goofery involved. Or some sort of goofery involved for additional power. Look, the issue with the Hindenburg is it was full of hydrogen. We'll be full of vacuum. It's the opposite of hydrogen. Well, not the opposite of hydrogen, because that would be anti-hydrogen, and that would be incredibly dangerous. Really, really bad, actually. But nothing is better than something when it comes to that, so... and also... they're not exactly cheap. Right, so... they lift a good chunk, but they're not cheap to do it. That's a lot of tubes and a lot of vacuum cells. And I don't honestly recall what the vacuum cell cost is. Titanium, aluminum, nickel, and silicon is what it's currently running as. That's not the worst, but it does mean we do need titanium, we do need aluminum. Nickel and silicon we'll have plenty of. Yeah, so... what do we got here on our map? There is bauxite, so we've got aluminum here. There's none closer, though, and that's kind of mildly annoying. That's okay. We can do the titanium here, but we'd have to transport it a hellishly long distance. Whereas the bauxite, we could shoot across up to here, because I think we're going to end up with a transport pipeline network with copper, silver, over to the coal, and then back to us. So I could send the bauxite up here. If we did it below ground, the GC wouldn't know it was there to bomb it either. And there's some options we may have available for tools in this mod pack to help make that a little bit easier. So that's an opportunity we've got. I feel like YouTube itself is just lagging massively behind. That's not too bad. So, we have some options. We gotta figure it out though. Gotta make sure we got power here. Gotta get all my stuff. Why do we not have these built yet? They're still being worked on. Because I don't have large steel tubes in the inventory, because I'm dumb. Dumb. Make some. Finally. I thought we had some tubes here. No, we don't. I pulled them out. I just forgot that I pulled them out. Okay. I want this done, and I can't get it done. We don't have the grids yet, so it doesn't matter. We gotta steal some grids from someone else. Let's punch this a couple times to get the motors back. We've got some cargo on this grid now. That's the important part. We'll put the rest of these components back. So we're fine there. We're gonna take all these pieces out. Slam these back up top. Get some steel tubes there. We don't need the old glass up there. Dump all that stuff here. How are we doing in our refinery? Bigger in space. Sweet. Let's go get some more iron now that that's taken, or some more stone now that that's taken care of. I'll eventually have to fill this back in so I don't blow things up in it, but hopefully I won't need to use this beach for a whole hell of a lot. It'd be nice if I didn't have to try to land at an angle with a plane. But I haven't really figured out yet where we're gonna run our airfield out of. Because it is a thing we have to have a consideration on.
Inventory full.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a look at what the in-between streams. I'm going to take a look at what the component cost for the the traditional thumper miner mod is, and update board tab to match that. So I've
Inventory
got the
full.
custom mod that I've got some other tweaks to recipes done to make them function within the IO, like environment system in a way that's more reasonable. Just because if it was still under vanilla, it'd be way too cheap. And also, IO replaces magnesium with gunpowder. So for anything that calls for magnesium, I have to change it over to a different metal. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you just randomly need gunpowder for this computer to work. I'm like, man, I don't trust printers. Like, whenever the printer in the office makes a noise, I'm grabbing something heavy to beat it with just in case. I don't want my computer being able to shoot me. That seems like a bad idea. We're just going to take the gunpowder out of these computers.
Inventory
Out of these
full.
supercomputer units. And go from there. So, because I already have that, I might just update the ore tab so it does match according to that. Probably like the mid-tier thumper. And that way I can start setting up some infrastructure for gathering components. Right? Like some of this we will want to eventually automate as much as possible. The nice thing about Industrial Overhaul is that you have potentially multiple sets of processing steps for ores you can set up. Like you can just smelt it straight like we're doing here, which does give you some, but if for each additional step of pre-processing before you actually fire it, you run it through, you can get a 50% increased yield output. So if you run it through a crusher or you run it through some other stuff, there is... Where is it? Where is the section I'm looking for? Up here, production. So, like, the rock crusher will crush stone ores and mix crushed ore, which you can refine more efficiently. So you get less garbage out of it, you get more actual ore. Then you can run it through a purifier. So rock crusher makes crushed ore. You can either smelt that, or you can take the crushed ore and run it through a purifier, which gives you purified ore, which again increases the yield. And then there is one more step, the ore catalyzer, which there's one more step somewhere here that you can then use. So if you have the ability to set up and build these machines and chain them together, you can get a lot more efficient processing, which is good. Automation's the name of the game when it comes to this. You need a lot more like space, and it doesn't lend itself well to traveling grids.
Inventory full.
I have made a boat that had the full Industrial Overhaul processing chain on it, a naval ship. It was pretty big. It was pretty big. It formed the basis for the space station that it was we used for after I strapped rockets to it and flew it off up into space. But there is that. So how are we doing on some of this stuff? Not quite half full yet on small cargo container, but we are getting there and we're refining stuff. That's the important part. We're just gonna slam this back up here so that stuff can keep processing. Because again, it is the large steel tubes that are the issue. 25 and another 28, so you need 50 more steel tubes. That's fine, we can do that. We need a lot more copper. So we'll do that. We'll just double chunk that while we're here. We have the copper for it. And we're going to be short some electromagnets. That gives us roughly what we need to do. Let's start planning out the next step here. So we've got the plate stamp. The wire drawer is something we want to get going, and an extruder. And I think what we're going to do is run a conveyor. Let's see. Let's do pipes. Oh, actually, hang on. I do have a mod that makes these pipes conveyored. So maybe we use these. Like they actually function as conveyors, and that could be kind of cool. Because we do have the ports there, right? So that should connect, I think. We have some options. Actually, do the ends have? Oh, the ends actually don't have... Oh, that's cool. That's some nice attention paid to detail there. We got the corner pipes, pipes up, pipes down, pipes junction. Is there a T-pipe? There is not. Okay, so maybe we don't do this here, but we use it for transport other places. So we just use regular conveyors otherwise. So we go back to this. I want a T-junction. More motors. We can do this. D. Take this out. We'll just put the components 3 times over into play here. This is how we're going to start. And then we'll build those machines off of these. And it won't be an issue. I need to grab our steel plate because I need to throw more pieces down here. And this will be a lot easier to relocate than it probably seems like, just starting off here. Because once we have the infrastructure up, it won't be that big a deal. Especially because by that point in time, we'll have access to, like, concrete. So it's even less of a big deal. We're looking for the tubes and the plates. And how are we doing here? We need these moved here, we need these moved here, so we can keep producing. You see now I want to make these other pieces, right? Because that would make some of this stuff so much faster. So we're short on tubes and then 6 more motors. Fair. Actually, can I set... Oh, I could do quotas. Okay, so let's just do this the easy way then. The stuff that we know is going to be weird criteria, or like weird requirements for other stuff, we'll just flag this for that. We don't have to worry about it. So there's the first one. And we're going to make this first machine. Where is my thing for it? Pulled it off the hotbar because I'm a doofus. That's okay. Just dump this here. So we do want an extruder. I think I want to do a wire drawer though. Do that first. You know what? We'll go ahead and throw one of these down anyway, just so we have it. And then we don't have to worry about it as much. Need more motors. Do. It's fine. There we go. We got pieces and parts now. Pieces and parts, pieces and parts. And as you can see, as some of these machines get built out, some of these parts start getting produced way faster, which is the goal. Port motors. Okay. There is another unknown signal I could go grab pieces from. I think we're going to go do that. We're going to recharge again. Good on inventory. Let's recharge up. How are we doing on these? We're still at 1 point because we're still behind. You know, I keep picking places on Ares where, like, the rising sun is blocked by mountains. And it's not that there's so many mountains on Agaris here that there's always mountains blocking it, but I always seem to pick the right spot to do it. And I don't know what that says about me. It says something. I just don't know what. Let's open our helmet. Enjoy the wind against our face. Don't crash into this wall. I can do it. Is that one of the ones that moves? No. It's not one of the ones that flees. Okay, let's wait for it to finish tumbling down this mountain. Actually, hang on. Could I drag it? It's got a parachute, right? So, like, theoretically, as long as it doesn't come to a stop, the parachute won't stop parachuting. But I could pull it out from the wall so I can drag it down faster. Beep, 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 beep. It's gonna come down on my head. Let's roll down the hill faster. Maybe eventually our employers will be a little bit better with their aim and it won't be a problem. But until then. Stop the beeping. Start cutting this thing apart. The lithium cells you get from these things are worth their weight in gold. Not literally, of course, because there's no gold in lithium power cells, but early game with Industrial Overhaul? Oh yeah. Another broadcast controller there is going to get us some good parts. We've got some more grids thanks to this thruster, so we're closer to having our mod assembler, our mod compatibility assembler up and running. Which would be pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Not having to buy all those grids would be sweet. This was the worst loot ever. Worst loot ever. I don't see any more parts there, so I'm going to assume they're all gone. We're at less than half. Worst case scenario, I'll land in the water and skip, maybe? Okay, that wasn't too bad. Dump all these parts in here. How are we doing on parts to pull out? Let's go ahead and grab these grids. Don't forget. And slam them in here. These up here so that they can be used for making stuff. Keep on welding. Motors, that's fine. How are we doing on parts? We got low on iron, but we're still there. Make me my motors. Alright, so let's top this back off. How are we doing on... Oh, we still have plenty of ice there. So we know what the iron is. Let's go scout this real quick. Alright, this is good. Like, it's not flat, but, you know, I can sprain my ankle landing on it. Good enough. We've got pretty good elevation. We can see the entirety of the lake. I do want to do like an oil derrick there for the oil. We can see that river entrance. We can see that river entrance. We can see that river entrance. So we could set up like some artillery cannons here to lob stuff at anything that comes in naval-wise. I know the GC has some boats. I don't know if we'll see them this time. Or, well, we'll have this before we have the oil up and running, right? So eventually we'll just put guns on the oil derrick, and it'll be like a gigantic, cannon-bristling, high-explosive pseudo-boat. We will need to have protection from anything flying over these mountains, though, because it'll be real close to engagement range. We've seen like some AEG stuff flying that way. So this, I think this will work. This will work nice, and we can do some openings. We can do, like, we can build down into this and have our Zeppelin anchorage here, and then it'd be partially protected on a couple sides because it'd be in a little dell, little divot. And then we got the iron down there, which we can mine and transport via pipeline. Yeah, this will work out well. Don't die, don't die, don't die, die. Ah, good. Top back off again. Fix my sprained ankle. Grab our motors. Still short motors. How am I still short motors? We were gone for like a minute. They didn't have the copper wire. Of course. Okay, we're just gonna let that run for a minute. This is very compact. It's not spread out well, but it does do its thing. Well, that's the important part. Just gonna weld this up. Weld this up. Tubes are a big thing. Tubes and wire. Do I have anything over here in the Connex? I do not. And then once all that's done, it'll get around to working on the construction components and other stuff we're still short on. What's still in my inventory? Oh, just steel plates. Okay. So let's wipe what's here. Reset up build planner. Another unknown signal was detected. Sweet. Come on, give me my last motor. I just clicked these. I hate everything. Alright, that's hooked up. We just need the construction components, the tubes, and the computers. Let's resort this around in the production line. We're going to rip everything out. We're going to start over again. Okay, one component cannot be put to production. And that's going to be the electromagnets. We had no copper wire. Well, that's fine because we're going to auto make these, right? Because I set up the auto set for it, and that won't be an issue. All right, let's go rob this unknown signal. It's going to be over the water. I think this lake is about 8 kilometers across. It's a pretty big lake. It is. Let's put our helmet back down again. Actually, I might be able to... expedite this thing. Kind of floating. Don't know how I feel about that. Jetpack's off, so we're just doing regular swimming here for this part. Ooh, boosted grinder. Let's go ahead and swap this now. That's a nice improvement. Take all these pieces apart. Oh, so much faster. Oh, that's so nice. So fast, much nice. Go up to the surface. I wonder if we could set up like an autonomous flying drone to go retrieve these for us. That would be kind of nice. I might need to consider that. Like not a priority project, obviously, because it's a drone for retrieving stuff, but it would be nice to eventually not have to worry about it. Because they don't float completely. So that is a concern. Alright. Deposit all this stuff here. Let's go put this other grinder away back there. You know what? Let's take all these parts with us. Because there's no reason to leave them sitting over here. When they could be... We had extra stones sitting here? Oh, man. In the connector, no less? Yeah, that works. I'll just grab some more gravel, and we'll cross-load the gravel. Free up more space here, because this is a good chunk of... Like, this is still almost 7,000. This is most of the volume of what we got for storage. Tell you what, let's get the, what was it, the storage crate container thing. Transport container. We're going to put all of our gravel in one of these. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I can't because I've got full of gravel. Oh, I know how to play this game. I swear. No, I am good. Thank you, hon. Alright, drag this back up here. Getting so close. Oh, I fell. So close. And yet so far. Let's... oh, we're out of iron, aren't we? We're out of iron. Alright, let's grab some iron. Plate stamp has a lot of it, but that's fine. We'll just grab all this, because why not? And then put it all in here. Sweet. Why do we have computers? What do we still put computers into? Oh, that. Okay. It's sad we didn't have any for these. Let's make sure computers are the end of production line. Let's do all this right here. I think I double produced all this stuff because I resubmitted it, I think. But that's fine, we can deal with that later. We need 60 electromagnets. Which means we need 500 copper wire. Let's do 600 to be on the safe side. And we will need... No, we won't need more copper, we're fine. See how slow copper goes? Like, to make the wire, you don't need a whole lot of copper. Like it's 1 ingot per. That's not bad. Man, as soon as we're done with this, we don't need to do anything with wire draws anymore. With the mod table, and that's the way, or the assembly table, and that's the way to go. Let's take a look here at the wire drawer. We can make copper wire, gold wire, and superconductors in it. So let's go ahead and set this up. So it just pre-makes a ton of wire. So I'm going to set this for like 100. And then the extruder is the other one. Which we're going to have it make a bunch of stuff in advance. And that'll work well. So that's yet more parts we won't need to consider, like have to worry about whether or not we've got them, anything like that. It won't be an issue. I'm aware my jetpack fuel is critical. I have seen things. I'm aware of this. I just haven't refilled it yet. Thank you, Sue. Man, this is at such an angle. I don't know. Like, we're at the absolute worst angle for this. I mean, I guess we are kind of far north, right? Actually, are we? How far north are we? We're not that far north. I don't know that I believe you there, star of the Aries system. I don't know that I believe that angle. Okay, so I may need to reposition those to be uprights. Because we're only at 2 bars. That said, what's our power looking like with these batteries? Not great. We're down to less than half. We're down to 789 kilowatt hours out of the 2 megawatt hours we've got max capacity. We're inputting 27 kilowatts, but blowing out 142. So we will need additional power sources, or I'll need to shut down some processing stuff. Which I mean, fair. Annoying, but fair. Worst case scenario, I could just unplug the manufacturing and then not have to worry about it, right? So there is that. We might take a trip back to the AHE headquarters and see if there's stuff they're really hard up looking to buy, because that might be pretty good. Let's kill this. We're gonna kill all that. So I'm pretty sure I've got way more than I actually need. Yeah, we don't need these construction components anymore. So we'll throw them here. That's fine. We do need these. Come on. Give me the tubes. Give me the tubes. Cool, we're good. The wire drawers are online. It's going to start making copper wire. So we no longer have to wait on the mod assembler table assembly bench. Y'all know what I mean for that stuff. We're going to pull these out. Throw these in here. We'll pull them in as we need them, and then this we're going to turn back off the auto production on copper wire. Go back to 0. Set the electromagnets to 0. We're not auto making anything now. That's the important part. Grab these pipes. Cool. Now we've got our extruder online too, so we're going to automate girders, small and large pipes, which is also going to be more power efficient. So we can just kill this now. Got this. Got this. Let's rip everything out and see where we're standing. Extruder currently is hoarding all of the iron. That sounds about right. And then for this we need small steel tubes and construction components, which we have. Well, not all the small steel tubes, but we have enough of them. There we go. Sweet. Now we have a place to throw all our gravel. Alright, this is coming along. We need more power. But this is coming along. We'll go grab all the gravel over here that I had just dropped over here. I'll shove it in this box. And I think we're gonna have to work on power next. I said alt-click, not shift-click. Thank you, though. So... we do have some wind turbine options. Alright, we got the wind turbine. We got the large wind turbine. Can we make advanced computers here? We cannot. So how many advanced computers do we have? We've got 83. So I can make, so nominal is 4 megawatts off one of these large ones. Optimal clearance 100 meters, optimal height 50. So if we build up high enough, I could use one of these, and I could use 2 of these, and that would fill all our active power needs on average. Okay. Let's do that, and we will add. Let's see, is it column? Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, we'll do column blocks. No, we will not, because those require interior plates. We will use beam blocks, because we're not rich yet. Smelter has a bunch of gravel, that's fine. We'll just throw it over here. And then for quick power, we'll just slam this. We'll slam one of these down here. So it said, oh, I forgot to put on my hotbar. It said the optimal clearance was 50, right? Thought it was. Optimal height was 50, so I just put a 25 block stack, so that's 2.5 is what, 60 and some change, so that shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be an issue at all. Let's grab our pieces here, and we'll do fly back up. I've got 55% hydrogen fuel. We'll land on it. We will weld, conserve our hydrogen. We gotta bring a lot more parts up here. Alright, so we need 30 more electromagnets. Or no, 25. 25 more electromagnets and 10 motors. And motors require 2 electromagnets per. Or 3? Something like that. Man, we didn't have sun for long at all. Yeah, these solars are definitely not going to cut it. Not in the least. Maybe once we're in the hill, we have, you know, access to higher elevations, so sun earlier in the day, and we're not being in the shadow of this thing. I think we'll probably have some better options then. Alright, so we are still missing... What are we missing as far as this goes? We're missing all stuff that can be made. Yeah, so put this to production. And for that, we also need some stuff. So let's fly back up here real quick. Deposit these parts. Technically, I've got 2 of these. So, like, let's deposit stuff. Reset build planner. I got a tad ambitious. Let's be shocked on that. And then let's rip all this back out. Set this for protection. What do we need? We need 85 iron, a bunch of copper. We need another 20 electromagnets, so 45 total. So we'll need 150 copper wire, some iron. I'll grab this. We will grab this. We do need some motors, right? Yeah, so we'll grab these 2. And then we'll just dump this across. Pretty still sure we need more copper wire still. We need some silicon. We'll have 200 silicon. And 200 more of these. That should be good now. Like, we have to wait for the electromagnets, obviously. Which means we need another 120. Yeah. But we should be good. The question is, are we going to run out of power first? Ooh! Less than 400 kilowatt hours. We are cutting this one close. We're cutting it close. Cutting it close. Cutting it close. I'm sitting here watching this number tick down slowly. 389, 388, 387. We're burning 1.6 megawatts of power. Alright, we also need large steel tubes. Oh, no, we have large steel tubes available. That's right. That's right. Another AHE ship. It looks like there's some decent AHE traffic in this area at least, so that's nice. Let's go check the tide. It has gone down, so that may have been the high tide. We'll do another tide. That'll give us kind of an idea on what we're looking at. We're not burning through the ice as quick as I was worried we would with the jetpack, which is good. It's out over the ocean again. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. do we not have more? Wait, I thought we had enough interior plates. Oh, 60 interior plates. Okay. That's going to be a problem, because again, interior plates are aluminum. We can't make those. I might have to steal plates from something else. My microwave does not have interior plates in it. Huh. Huh. There's some on the door. Let's go see if that unknown signal has some, and we're lucky. Maybe we'll be lucky, and this will have some interior plates in it. Don't cap hack myself with it. Let it fall. I got my helmet closed because I learned from last time. Oh, this is deep down here. This is real deep. Are we near the oil by chance? Like, we're 3 kilometers out. No. Okay. Come on. Keep falling. You can do it. Scrap. Oh, a better welder. Okay, I'll take the better welder. That's not a bad upgrade. We got all 3 pieces upgraded. No interior plates, though. Broadcast controller has advanced computers instead. Huh. Alright, so... may need to go take a trip to look for some interior plates. We swim back up from the depths. This kind of looks like a hat. Okay. Dump all these pieces off, as well as throw that back over there. This is going to be a problem. Okay, what can I strip interior plates out of? I think I have to cut the door off. The door has interior plates. Only 6, though, which is not enough. Wildly annoying. There's 20. No, there's 60 in this large cargo container. Ooh. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to take that apart because I was going to get stuck trying to move things if I did. But we can make all the stuff we need for a small cargo container. We can't make the stuff we need for that. So we're going to rip all this stuff out. And we're going to take this cargo container apart. Hope it's not structural. It was not structural. Sweet. Whew. You know what? We're going to leave these in here, though. We're going to stick them in line. Can we stick them in the seat? Do we have enough space in the seat to like rockets and stuff like that? We do. Sweet. Okay. We're good. We got all the components we need. Refill our hydrogen. Let's get this turbine going. No, we're not. We're short some computers and 4 electromagnets. Really? How am I? Okay. Okay, build planner. I know you keep lying to me. And we'll just go in here and just kill all this production. Oh, it's all done. Oh, listen to that dynamo purr. Okay. We are blasting out 4 megawatts. Okay. Eventually I'll stop, like, spraining my ankles. It's kind of ugly, but it works. And that's the important part. We're getting that strong wind cutting across the lake out of the south. Let's take a look at our batteries. Are they recharging? We are putting in more than we are sending out. We are golden. We're recharging actively. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Let's get back on putting stuff together. Okay. We're going to need stuff here. Large steel tubes, we need electromagnets. We need more tubes, more electromagnets. Still, okay, so we still need, let's just do this. Bam, we got enough copper wire, we should be fine. Almost there. Almost there. These are running just fine. Those are doing fine. Next critical part of infrastructure is going to be the fabricator, because that's going to allow us to make, I think this is what lets us make electromagnets. I think it's the fabricator. Which shouldn't be too rough, I don't think, for parts. I'm just going to go ahead and add in like another 20 electromagnets. Because we're probably going to need them. Which means I need to grab some more tubes and stuff. For the critters. Come on, almost there. Almost there. Sit here. Just waiting. There we go. That's the last electromagnet needed. There we go. Cool. Alright. We got this now. We can make some binoculars. We got options to make the concrete tools. We can lay down some concrete. We got a paint gun. We can do our paint stuff with it. We could make better tools if we have the raw parts, but we don't. We can make ammo for handguns and light stuff. But it's going to be real slow, and it's not going to be a great exchange rate. But that doesn't particularly matter. We could do all those pieces. We could do civilian products. We don't have the cobalt for it. But this will probably be one of our primary trade goods, is civilian products. If we can get access to cobalt coming in regularly, I think we'll be good for the short term for that. That's the important part. Or rather, it will be the important part. Let's grab this fabricator. And we don't have what we need there, so we'll do this. It'll put things to production. And we're gonna shove this here in the corner. That's that part. We need more copper. We need it for the electromagnets. Wire extruder's apparently losing its mind. Why is it trying to make thousands? What did I do? Didn't need 9,000 copper wire, but you know, good initiative, I guess. Something like that. Okay. And then this, God, this was so nice to have this up and running. Alright, and then let's go mine a little bit more from this giant hole. We can make concrete now, so we can use some of this huge backstock of gravel we have to fill this back end of concrete.
Inventory full.
So it's not that big of a problem that we have the hole now. It'll be less of a problem in a little bit. You can also use it. So the concrete we can make for the mod compatibility assembler is not nearly as efficient as the cement kiln, but it is an option that is available until we build one, which is the important part. So it does give some options as far as that goes. So we can do some basic stuff. We can use it to lay some foundations now that we have access to that as well, instead of having to like use steel plate grids. So we can start working on some actual like non-garbagey stuff now. I just realized I don't have a way to move the Connex box. It was delivered here for us, but we don't have a way to move that. Do we leave the Connex box? Do we take it apart? I guess I should go back and clean up the Connex that's there now that we have a faster grinder. How are we looking here on those? We're picking up a bunch of gravel. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. A third of the total capacity of gravel in this. So let's go to the mod capacity. What does it take for this? So the concrete tool, iron, nickel, and silver. Okay. And then concrete mix is just gravel. What have you said? Give us 1,000 concrete. Maybe we can play some games here. Ah, the cat has arrived. Of course, if the GC happens to look over here, they'll be like, "Wow, that colonist isn't a slow schmuck. He got some processing up and running." They're not going to expect what we're actually here to do. At least I hope not. We don't have any guns yet. It's like, despite being a hired gun, oh no, that's not true. We've got 2 rockets and a rocket launcher. I don't think that counts, though. Alright, slow down so I don't crash face first. Oh, that's on the other side of the hill. I understand distances. I have depth perception. This is the first time we've been up here, though, so let's... What is up here? A ravine, okay. It's kind of rough. I don't think we have to worry about... Because, like, anybody who comes at us out of the south, like, that's a long distance to fly. And that mountain's pretty tall. I don't know that anything on atmospheric engines can get over the south range. Maybe we're in a more defensible position than I thought we were. I mean, maybe they could thread their way through the valley and come in. But I don't think that opens up over... maybe it does. Damaged. Really? Oh no, it's just shooting sparks. Okay. Let's just power this off. You got interior plates. Haha. 2 computers is a little weird. We got interior plates out of the exhaust emitter, so that's more aluminum. The longer I can go without having to go set up a bauxite mine, the better. Now that said, this does probably mean a mining vehicle is going to be a necessity sooner rather than later. And since the vacuum cells require titanium, which is not going to be something we have immediately, can't work on building a mining zeppelin. Yet. Can't work on building a mining zeppelin yet. I'm a loser. I've only got 8 hydrogen. I gotta scale this mountain like a pleb. Okay. It's okay. I mean, this is we've only been here, like, this is day 2. Technically the first full day that we've been here on Agaris, right? Sun hasn't set yet. This is about the time we made it here yesterday. So I think for one day on Agaris, this is not a bad setup. Got a bug flying around my face. Just gonna sit here and run. And jump. And run. And run. And run. And jump. This mountain does still look like a hat. I kind of want to save my hydrogen for when I go skipping off the edge by accident. But we're going to slide here real quick. Yep. I know that unknown signal said it was only 3 kilometers away, but I don't believe it. That feels way more than 3. Tempted to just jump. And then go pick up my stuff after I reclone. I feel that's probably not a healthy outlook to have. And there was already one jetpack related fatality. Screw it. Cowabunga. Oh no, that might bounce into the water. Catch it! Interception! Okay, it came to a stop. Hey, I got pretty close. That wasn't bad. That was surprisingly close, actually. When I saw how high that backpack bounced, I was mildly worried that it was just going to overshoot and end up floating away and then across the lake. But made it. Okay. The nice thing about this wind turbine is it still continues working even though the sun's down. Unlike you, ungrateful solar panels. I've deposited all that stuff. We do have 10 more grids, which aren't necessary for anything. Alright, fabricators up and running. Finally. Let's see what's look out here. We got nothing in production queue. Let's take everything back out. Put it away. And then let's take a look at what we can do with this fabricator. We can make electromagnets, grids, which doesn't matter, construction components. Yeah, we don't even need base computers. Beautiful light bulbs, heating elements, alkaline power cells, which we can use for emergency power if we have to. We may eventually set some up. But is there anything in the assembly bench we still need it for? Radio communications components. That's it. We can make motors. We can't do motors in fabricator, can we? Damn. Okay. So we still need it for motors. We still. I don't. Do we have radio comps? No, but also we don't necessarily need them. That's fine. So let's go back to fabricator. Let's make some pieces. We want to have 10 electromagnets, and you know what? We'll just set it to something else. So like 20 and 20, and 50 construction components, and we'll leave it at that. Because everything else we can have it manually make as necessary. We'll just go here to the cargo container and we'll just yeet everything across. Where are we storing things in the mod compatibility is similar? That works. Cool. Alright. I think we're in a good spot. Now, did I mess up and not actually... Hang on a second. I did. I thought it had ports on two sides, it only has ports on one side. I feel silly. Let's spin it around. It's fine. There we go. Then now we reconfigure it again. Fix the name. 20 electromagnets, 50 construction components, 50 computers. We should be good now. So the fabricator should start making things. Ah, it's making things, yes. Okay. We're good. We still can't make motors yet, and I'm pretty sure that's because motors are a assembler object instead. Or they might be a microelectronics factory. I don't think so. I think it's the assembler. We'll find out. But I think that's all we really need. Like we're at the good point we can start making things now. So we need. Can I do LCDs? I can't make bulletproof glass. That's gonna be the problem. We don't have to have bulletproof glass for these yet. So there's that. I think we can do this. Yes. Okay. So let's. Text box. Text box is the multi-selector. There we go. So let's do. Look at this. I heard some thunder outside. We'll see how this goes. Let's weld this up. Then put our to-do list up here. We don't need the bulletproof glass. That's fine. Let's see. And to do LCD. Spin that around. Text and images. Okay. Things to do. Not to do. To do. To done is not done yet. We need a mining vehicle of some sort. We need to scout out the ore deposits. Rudimentary defenses against pirates. I feel like against pirates is going to be the end Minecraft for this, right? Like the GC sees this, if they come by, they're going to be like, hey, why do you need guns? You're a colonist. I'll be like, for pirates, mate. They'll be like, oh, for pirates, yeah, that makes sense. We're not going to spend our corporate security hunting down pirates and bad guys. Also, you're near a desert where there's some raiders. That's fair. And then they'll leave us alone about it. Or they'll be like, hey, you need to have a permit for this. And then I'll pull out my rocket launcher, and then it's go time, I guess, at that point. Right? But I think this is what we're going to start with. We have power. So let's go ahead and do some documentation. Things to did. Stable power. Most component production. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Need a damned bed. So I'm going to sleep. Sleep sitting up. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the tide. How are we doing? Oh, we were back at the top. Yeah, we grabbed top and close enough to the bottom. So that's pretty solid. We got these things we're working on. All our stuff is plugged into charging. That's the important parts. We refilled our stuff here. How are we doing on ice? We're at about a third of what we moved over, so that's fine. We're gonna do this. That'll be where we leave things for today. We're gonna wrap up just a tiny bit early because it is the middle of the night. With this series, there is gonna be some stuff done off camera in between. The first episode is like setting up basic operations and processing for industrial overhaul, so I don't like skipping it. It's kind of like, yeah, man, we started this new world, and then I, mined down to bedrock and found 15 stacks of diamonds. It's one of those things like, did you actually do this if it's not on camera? So I do like to do that. So we got the basic setup. We got a plan for moving forwards. I need to take a look at the recipe configuration for the ore taps to update it to match the drills instead. But that's not going to be that big a deal. And then next time we can start building things and working from there. So I'm going to shore some things up probably in the meantime, but hope to see you back next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, for episode 2. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Stay goose.